Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a project pan update, and I'm really excited because we have a lot of big empties, which means we're going to have some rollouts, and we're also going to have some roll-ins. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, but in my mind it's still very exciting. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Megan. I do project pan, shop my stash, get ready with me's. So if that interests you, be sure to subscribe before you leave. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. It really does help my channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into the video. Okay, so I just got home from work and I'm gonna try and be speedy about this because my boyfriend and I want to take the dogs on a walk when he gets home, and we have bad weather closing in. So I'm hopeful I'm gonna be able to wrap this up fairly quickly. But yeah, how about I stop rambling? How about that? Anyways, let's start with something exciting. First of all, we have an empty, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter. I really do enjoy this one. This was one that I previously had loved even more, but this time around, I didn't feel like it did as much for me. And I feel like that can happen with products sometimes. As time goes on, our skin changes, which means our needs change. So I don't think I would repurchase this one because it didn't do as much for me as it has in the past. But if you are curious, this did take me 39 uses in this project to finish. I used it 12 times since my last update. And yeah, really exciting that we're starting off with a fresh empty. I also wanted to say I have not worn that much makeup between my last update and this one. So if my usage numbers seem low for, I don't know, not updating for 6 weeks, that's why I've had some personal stuff going on and I just haven't been wearing a lot of makeup. But that's why I'm even more excited that we still saw some progress. That being said, I do have another empty as well. I finally emptied the Laneige lip balm, and this one was in the scent Cotton Candy. I guess there's a little bit of remnants there on the bottom. But when I first rotated this into the project, it was weighing 1.4 ounces. Last month it weighed 1.31, and this month it is empty. I used this a total of 29 times since our last update and a total of 74 times in the project. These, in my opinion, are worth it because they last so long. It took me a literal year to finish this. And I will say, if you missed out on this scent, I don't think you're missing out on anything. This did not give berry, or it did not give cotton candy to me. It gave berry. So it was kind of disappointing flavor wise. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't cotton candy like it was advertised. But yeah, so empty. I guess since we're already talking about all the empties, we will go into the next empty, and it is a Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in the shade Cherry Blossom Cake, which is the pink one. There's a little bit left there in the bottom, but I worked hard to get everything out that I could. I even took out the stopper and shook what I could get into my refill component of the product. So I have my next one ready to go. I used this 16 times since I last saw you guys, and I used it a total of 43 times in this project to eventually empty it. So super exciting. We have 3 empties right off the get. I'm also looking at my spreadsheet down here, so sorry if that bothers you, but it makes it much easier for me to identify what is going on. The next product I have is the Chanel Le Beige Bronzer. I have the medium shade, which is $3.90. This is currently what it's looking like. Last month it weighed 3.29 ounces. This month it weighs 3.25, so we only saw a really slight change in weight, which is kind of discouraging because I used this 16 times since I saw you guys last. So to have that little of weight change is a little discouraging, but I knew this would be a challenge. I do think that the pan here overall is widening, so that's exciting. I am still like really enjoying this. It's working fine. It's a great shade. I am trying to work on the top a little bit as I work out, but I know I eventually, no matter what, I'm gonna have to like repress this just because the outer edges still have so much product. This is one that I know is going to be an all year thing, and I'm totally fine with that, but we are still making progress slowly but surely. A product that is truly discouraging is the MAC Glow Play Blush in the shade Blush Please that I have depotted into this face palette here. Last month, this weighed 3.06 ounces. This month, it also weighs 3.06 ounces. And guess how many times I used it? 10. So not like 20, but 10 I feel is enough to create some kind of weight change. Further proof that this blush is just... These are so hard to finish. And I have a feeling it will continue to play games with me throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, I finished it 10 times since I saw you guys last, which means I've used this a total of 18 times since rolling it into the project, and we've only seen a weight change of 0.01 ounces. This is going to be my Everest. Next up, we have the Tower 28 lip liner in the shade Fill Me In. This is what it is looking like. We are honestly working our way down the pencil really, really well. Last time I saw you guys, this weighed 0.04 ounces. This time it weighs 0.03. So I feel like that's really good progress for such a small product. I used it 7 times since my last update, which brings us to a total of 14 uses on this product. I still think we have a while to go just because I typically use it at least 3 to 4 times before it needs a sharpen. So I think we still have a while to go. We are what was that English? I don't know. But we are starting to get into the warmer months, so I'm liking this shade on me a little bit more. Today I have it just lined on my lips and then a clear gloss over it, and I've really been liking that combination. So I think if I can continue to do that over the next month or so, maybe we will have an empty. Next up, we have the Danessa Myricks Chrome Liner in the shade Lilac Quartz. This has had no weight change. We're still at 0.12. I only used this twice since our last update, so I'm not really surprised that it didn't change weight. This is one that I love and I just want to make sure I get my use out of. So I want to continue to organically use it. Honestly, my goal per month is to use it at least 5 times. So between now and the next update, we should see a little bit more progress on this. Okay, the Milk Makeup Mini Blush in the shade Work. This has also not had a weight change. It still weighs 0.25 ounces. I used it only 3 times since I saw you guys last. It might not look like a big change, but we are starting to see a really significant wear down on this side here, over here. And so I feel like it's gonna start going a lot quicker here pretty soon. My estimate was that this would take 20 uses to finish. So right now we are currently at 7 total usage, which is not a lot. This shade is beautiful, but it just is like a more corally peach. So for me, it's not really an everyday shade. Whereas the MAC blush in Blush Please is more of like a dusty mauve, and I really like that for a daily shade. So this is one that I have to be a little bit more mindful to use, which is why I think it's taking longer. But honestly, I want to challenge myself to finish this before I see you guys next. that I need to just knock it out and get it done because I feel like it is the next closest product to Empty, and I really want to continue this momentum of at least rolling out an item or so. Next up is the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. We didn't really see any changes in terms of the packaging. I've been tracking it on the back, but as you can see, we're kind of at the same place. I think some more of this product is just starting to run down, and that is why. The last time I saw you guys, this weighed 4.7 ounces. We are now at 4.64, so we have had a decrease. And I used this a total of 12 times since the last update, bringing this to 36 total uses. I did expect to see a little bit more of a jump in this from this update. So I feel like progress is definitely slowed down, but I definitely used it a lot less. I'm really trying to wear makeup more, like I've got to just do it. And since sunscreen season is slowly inching its way back in, I haven't been using this as much because my sunscreen typically gives a lot of glow and hydration that I feel like using this stuff is kind of overkill, but it's something that we really need to finish because it's around that year mark and it's so expensive. I really just don't want it to go bad because it's so light. I won't be able to wear this in the summer. So, really also going to try and crack down on this uh, throughout this next update. Okay, and then the Huda Beauty powder in the shade Pound Cake. We don't have any progress on this, but honestly, I really didn't expect there to be. I only used this 5 times since I last saw you guys. The reason being is like my face was just going through it. Not only was I not really wearing makeup, but like I was experiencing some really dry skin. So I wasn't going over and all over powdering my face because I was experiencing so much dryness. I was honestly just focusing on powdering my under eyes, and that's it. I think that between now and the next update, it still might be kind of slow progress wise. But once we get into the summer, baby, this bitch is going to be on repeat every single day. So I'm not really worried about it. It's just slow going right now. So the next product is the Replica Coffee Break Fragrance. This was 7.71 ounces. The last time I saw you guys, it is now 7.69. So we have had a little bit of progress going on there. I only used it 3 times though. I know when I spoke to you guys last, I was just kind of getting to that point where I was like, oh, I don't love this smell on me. And as we get into the spring, it's even more so that way because we have what we call fall spring here in the Midwest, and it's really just jump started me into fall or spring things. And that being said, my scent preferences are changing to spring notes, and this is not a spring note. And I'm not going to make myself use it even though I'm literally so close to empty that it's like painful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it out and I'll show you guys on a screenshot here. I have a category at the bottom of this spreadsheet of my project pan where I have rolled out products to roll in, and I'm going to just put this like in the products to roll in and keep all of the data still there. And we're going to rotate this in back in the fall. I'm going to finish this in 2025, but it's just not going to be finished until the fall because we're going to take a break with it because I want to use it while I'm enjoying it. I don't want to like hate pan it to like reach the end. I just don't. The same being said for my Michael Kors Wanderlust scent. This was 6.87 ounces last time I saw you guys. It is now 6.79. So quite a bit of progress. I did use this 8 times for a total usage of 17 since being in the project. And there is not a lot left. Again, this is probably, I don't know, I would say 14 to 20 uses from Empty, if that. So not much, but it's just, again, my scent taste right now are changing to those spring notes. So I'm going to be like switching it all out because during the fall and the winter months, I put those kind of fragrances up on my vanity and I put my spring and summer ones up on a shelf. And now it's time to switch them. So for now, I will be rotating this out, but we will see it back in the fall because, like I said, these two are ones that I want to finish in 2025, and they're so close that there's no reason I can't finish them. Okay, next up is the hair serum. I only used this twice since I saw you guys last. But I think we are getting close because if I just leave the stopper in like that and squeeze to get product up, that's all that's like coming up in that stopper. So there is not a lot there, which means I have hope that if I use this 2 to 3 times during this update, I might finish it. Like, I have a really good chance. So this is going to be a main focus for my next update, to be mindful to use it. It's good. I'm just really bad at using products like this, which is why it's lasted so long. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully have this wrapped up by the next update. We also rotated in the Rare Beauty Brightener last time I saw you guys, and I've only used it once, so we haven't seen a weight change. The reason I've only used it once is because I was using this to mix with like shades of concealer that were a little bit too deep for me. But then I was like, you know what? I really want to focus on this Pacifica concealer because it's getting old. I don't love it. It's not my favorite. It's a really light shade. I won't be able to use it soon. So this Rare Beauty Brightener took a little bit of a back seat for this update, but I think it's time to shine is really probably going to be within the next like 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to get a lot more use. The Pacifica concealer, we are seeing some good windowing, like all in, I'm pointing to this side like you can see, but like all in here there's windowing. I can see it as far down as here, like this is the lowest windowing. So I think that we are getting close to Empty, which is crazy because I don't feel like I've used it that much. So I was actually looking, and this comes with less product than a standard concealer does. So I think maybe that's why I'm working through it so quickly, but it has started to already become a little bit lighter than my preference. So I've actually been mixing it already with another concealer to try and finish it. I don't know if it will be done by my next update, especially since I'm using less of it to just hit the inner corners, but I'm hopeful that it will be so that we can wrap it up and get it rotated out. I did use it a total of 18 times since I rotated it into the project. So I feel, pretty good about that considering I wore it pretty much every time I did my makeup, which wasn't much, but I'm getting used, so. And then we have the ABH satin lipstick in the shade Taupe Beige. This is what she is looking like. When we started, it weighed 0.59 ounces. It now weighs 0.57. So we have, I don't know why my arm keeps going up. So we have seen some progress on this product, even though I have literally only worn it twice. This is one that I usually reach for more in the summer, so as long as I'm just being mindful to use it right now, I feel like all of those uses will really start to stack up and will gain momentum. So yeah, that's where we're at there. And then for my e.l.f. brow pencil, I did not use it at all. I have another e.l.f. one open, I have a Benefit one open, and then I had a Glossier one open because I got it in exchange for a review. So I was focusing on that one, and while I was using it, I realized there's not a lot of product in here. So I kind of just hunkered down on that one and I already finished it. So we'll see more use in this brow product, this update, but that's why we didn't really see anything last time. It's getting hot in here. These lights are heating me up. So I have 4 products now that I want to rotate in. So we're going to do that really quickly. The first one is a fragrance to replace what I've rotated out. And it is the Lancome Idol. I love this. I love this. I love this. And I stopped wearing it for a while because my ex made like a rude comment about how it smelled. But 1, fuck that guy. 2, my boyfriend now loves it, so I'm excited that I get to wear it again and enjoy it because I love this fragrance. But it is an older one in my collection. I think this is a 2022 one. So I want to get some use out of this. This is actually my second bottle. I love this so much, and it typically goes on sale for Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So the starting weight for this product is 7.56 ounces. I'm going to write that in my spreadsheet and we'll hop to the next product. Next up, we have another fragrance. This one is, I have the Google sheet right here. I can literally look it up. Okay, so the Lancome fragrance was a 2021 fragrance. So that's one I would like to finish this year if possible. The next one is also a 2021 fragrance, and it is the Tommy Girl from Tommy Hilfiger. We're just like right kind of even with the Tommy at the top there. So like this is, I would say, about half gone or close to half gone. I really like this one. It is a really strong one though, and it's gonna sound weird. I've had it for so long because like this scent reminds me so much of my mom, and she used to wear this all the time when we were little, and I had gotten her one for Christmas in 2021, and I got myself one too because when I miss her, I like to spray it, and it just like reminds me of my mom in so many comforting ways. Like, I know it's probably TMI, but that like I have, I guess, like emotional attachment to this one, so I think that's why I don't use it as often, because it's like an emotional support fragrance, which is, I don't know, crazy a little bit. So I'm gonna rotate it in, see how it goes. If I'm feeling like I don't want to use it because I'm feeling sentimental, then I might rotate it out. But I'm hopeful that I'll be able to use it and get some use out of it, since it is an older fragrance. The starting weight for this one is going to be 8.57 ounces. All right, next up, these 2 products are actually in the same component, so we're not going to weigh them, but we'll be able to tell the difference in like usage and shots, like photos, stuff like that. We'll be able to tell. So I'm finally feeling ready to bust out my Natasha Denona face palette. This is the Glam Light version. This was my most used palette last year. I absolutely adore it. I fought for my life to hit pan in this shade, and I was not successful. So I'm ready to rotate it in. If I'm being honest with you guys, my eye makeup right now is essentially consumed of using a single. So I don't expect the usage between updates on this to be super high, because it is an extra step to go in and add a little bit of this brown in the crease, but it's a shade that I really like to use for that and is really easy to use. So I do want to try to incorporate it, which, yeah, I mean, it might be crazy. You guys might be like used to do full beat blown eyeshadow look every day. Not so much this year. It's like I'm putting a shimmery single on my eyeball and that's pretty much it. So I am going to rotate this in, which I'm excited about. I did get this palette in 2021, so it's a little bit older. And I'm also going to rotate in the blush. That's right. I love this blush, and it's a cream, so I am worried about its lifespan. And I have quite a bit of progress, like we're about to hit side pan over there. So I want to rotate this in with a goal to finish it. The pan is like semi-shallow. We have a lot of good wear. So I definitely think this is something that I could do over the course of the year. I definitely don't think it's going to be anything super quick just because I'm also focusing on those other two blushes, but I'm hopeful to have the Milk Makeup one finished up by the next time I see you. And then the MAC one is going to be, obviously a marathon. And this formula picks up and goes faster than the MAC one. So honestly, I will probably finish this blush before I finish the MAC one because that MAC one is just a stubborn gal. She is stubborn. But yeah, so I want to go ahead and rotate those two things in. I do have a few other things on my list that I eventually want to rotate in at some point during the year, but we'll just kind of see how it goes as far as how much I have in progress and how quickly everything is going. But yeah, that is it for today's update. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to like before you leave. And if you want to see more of this content, don't forget to subscribe before you go. I will link in the description my Project Pan intro and my first update if you want to check those videos out. And of course, there will be suggestions on the screen. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.